Panther people, what up? Dan Morgan and Company's draft plan seems to be materializing right before our eyes. What's going on? You watching Panther Sports? Thanks for joining. A little bit of a program note here. I put out a YouTube short, so if you don't follow this channel, make sure you subscribe. You want to join the membership if you want, that's cool too. But I just put out a short yesterday. That's Thursday, the 20th. Talked about how I'm going to be speaking with an NFL scout, a former National Football League scout. That means these billion-dollar franchises decided that this person is good enough to give them a certain sum amount of money to try to make their team better. Basically, what we all wish that we could do. During draft season, all of us are rocking the all 22, except yours truly, because I'm not paying for it. But watching games, thinking we know players, scouting players, and what we think is best for the Carolina Panthers. This person was actually paid by a team to do exactly that. Now they're doing something with a draft website, but they're living out in the Florida Keys. I got a 3-week-old, so things got a little messed up. So we're going to be recording that episode next week, Tuesday evening. We're going to be talking about all the Carolina Panthers needs. We're going to have him retrospectively break down Bryce Young, what he sees as an NFL scout, what he thinks is the best thing for him in terms of what to help him get to success, whether it's more wide receivers, more tight ends, more running backs, whatever it is, a good defense. We'll see. We'll work that all out, and that's going to be split up into multiple episodes, and it's going to lead us to the draft in Green Bay. So if you're not subscribed already, friggin' do it, man. Put on the bell so you know when the episode's out there, so that if you're watching this in North or South Carolina, and you and your Panther friends are hanging out, and you want to know right off the bat who we need, who we don't need. You want to drop some names from some obscure prospects. You want to listen to this episode. You want to watch this episode. It's going to get you smarter in front of your friends. You're going to impress them all. And if there's a lady out there who's a Panthers fan, big in the draft, and you want to impress her, you got to drop a little nugget, talk a little, I don't know, Taj Brooks, Texas Tech, running back. They'll be like, wow, you know your stuff. Let's go on a date. You never know. So anyways, that's a program note there. All right, let's talk about the draft itself. Now, we're getting closer. It's just over 5 weeks until the NFL draft in Green Bay, and all the mock drafts are coming out. The mock drafts from all the big dogs. You got your Todd McShay mock drafts. You got your Mel Kiper Jr. mock drafts. You got your Daniel Jeremiah's out there, and they're letting us know. We got Joe Person, who covers the Panthers on a daily basis. Mike K doing a great job. I just subscribed to the Charlotte Observer, but it seems like the Panthers are at least putting it out there. Mind you, asterisk, it is lying season. It is smokescreen season. That's what the NFL draft is all about. But it seems like the more and more mock drafts that I see, it seems like the Panthers are kind of stuck between two guys. And they're both in the same school, both kind of the same position, but they play it in a different way. And that's Michael Williams and Jalen Walker out of University of Georgia. And it seems like both of them are kind of polarizing people. On Michael Williams' side, kind of like Shamar Stewart. He's got the physical size, not that fast. He ran like a 4.74, I believe, in the Georgia Pro Day. And but he's got the size, he's got the measurables. He's never going to be running 40 yards straight down in a straight line, but he also didn't have the production because he had an ankle injury during last year's time with the Bulldogs. And so there's that risk there. Like, can he overcome that? Is he a guy who can, I was listening to Bucky Brooks from Move the Stick saying, sometimes there are situations where low production in college equals low production in the NFL. Sometimes they flip the script, and then, they got the intangibles. They're like 21 years old when they're in college. And then when they actually get NFL coaching, they blossom. Or not, or that doesn't happen. And then, so that's kind of the thing out there with Michael Williams. And then you got Jalen Walker. Also split. You got people who have him as like the 10th best edge in this draft class, in a very loaded draft class, if you want to call it that. Like he's below average size. Like he's like 6'1", 6'2", like not a huge dude. He's got long arms. So people love that. They love the tenacity that he plays with. That's what I personally like. He's kind of like that Frankie Louvu replacement. If you want to fit him in with the Carolina Panthers, he's also an athletic freak. He goes to University of Georgia. They seem to all be that. But then again, he's a tweener, and we've had tweeners in the league, and they're not always, a shoo-in to be great in the league. Jeremy Chinn has kind of been up and down. He was high up there with the Panthers in his rookie year, and then just fell out of favor in the Avero system of all systems. And then now he's with the Raiders, who is now filling in for Trayvon Morey, who the Panthers picked up. So Jeremy Chinn, hybrid player. You got, what was it, Josh Simmons or whatever in the same draft class. And he's same deal. Hybrid player. Where does he end up? He ends up with the Arizona Cardinals. I don't even know if he's in the league anymore. So it's almost like you're really good at multiple things, but not really a master at one thing. And you got to, in the NFL, you have to find your place. And now Jalen Walker talked about in the combine that he's good at everything. He can do it all. But the NFL is smart. They'll figure it out and they'll figure you out and they'll work on your weaknesses. And if you're really bad at putting your hand in the ground, they're going to make sure that, they shut you out at being a stand-up linebacker in a 3-4 system and force you to put your hand in the ground where you're not going to be effective. But if you're just really good at one thing, then they kind of have to figure you out in just that one. And if you're really good at that and you're gifted at it, you can work around it. Sticking with the draft, it is pro day season now. So guys who did not perform during the combine are now doing so, back home on their campus. And the University of South Carolina held theirs just a couple days ago. And then when asked about the Carolina Panthers, one of their prospects said, "You mean the South Carolina Panthers?" I mean, it's true. You got what once was the highest paid DB in NFL history, J.C. Horn, went to South Carolina. You have Xavier Legette picked in the first round out of South Carolina. And then you just got picked up Rico Dowdle from the Dallas Cowboys for a 1-year deal from University of South Carolina out of Asheville, North Carolina. So they definitely have their fingers in Columbia, South Carolina. And so right now when the Panthers, there's a large contingent of Panthers scouts and GMs and all that stuff in Columbia for the pro day. And then one of my favorite prospects, who is one of my trade down candidates that, the Panthers trade down, pick this guy up in the first round if you can. That is Nick Emenwari. He spoke with Carolina Panthers beat reporters. He talked about Xavier Legette. He said, quote, "Always man X, Xavier Legette and JC. They was my guys. Talk to them almost every week, every month. The Panthers, man, they have a huge impact on us out here. They just got Rico Dowdle, who I just mentioned. So they've got a real Gamecock squad over there, and hopefully they can come pick me up too. That'd be cool." I do think that'd be cool, specifically with the position that he plays, because right now we got Trayvon Moehrig, and then we got our one cat who's an undrafted rookie from last year who outperformed. I think he did great. I think he's got a great future. But they got 2 guys on the roster. That's it. And if you want to build a tone setter, you want a culture setter, you got Trayvon Moehrig out there, who is a heavy hitter, great run defending safety. You get Nick Emenwari, who to me is Cam Chancellor 2.0, and you put them in the defensive backfield, and you can still get somebody in the second round because I think there's really no one in the draft like Nick. He does some alien type stuff in the combine. You can still get an edge in the second round. I think that'd be a home run start to the draft for the Panthers. And that's it for this episode. If you click on the next one, I'm going to be doing a mock draft. I'm going to do 2 scenarios, one with a stick and pick at 8 and one with a trade down. So after this video, just click on that one and have some fun.